So Okamiden is on the Nintendo DS now. So just in terms of scale, like since the original was on the PS2, like how is it different? Like how is the world compared to the original?
Putting this game on the Nintendo DS, we wanted to make sure that we recreate all the beautiful graphics that you had in the original Okami game on Okamiden. And for us, that was really the main focus. And with that, we wanted to make sure that we recreated the entire world of the original Okami in Okamiden as well. And I think players of the first game will be familiar with the world that we have prepared for them in the Nintendo DS version. And even though it's a smaller system, I don't think there's any loss of things to do in the game. You'll still find that it's a full, rich experience. And if you're used to running around the big world of the original Okami, you'll find the same thing in Okamiden as well. Also, in terms of the way the characters move and whatnot, there's a few tweaks we had to make on the way you move between different areas of the game. But aside from that, you have a really full, rich experience. You won't feel like we've cut anything out. If you're used to playing the original Okami and you thought that was a well put together package, I think you'll feel the same when we come to Okamiden. And we've made sure that it's full of things to do, it's action packed, and there's a lot in the game.
And what were some of the challenges you came across when developing for a DS game?
For original Okami, when people talk about it, they talk about the graphics, they talk about the heartwarming story, and they talk about the sound. Those are the three things that the first one got critical acclaim on. So when making Okamiden, we had to make sure that those three things were just as well in place as they were in the original. As far as story goes, we on the development team, we worked hard to make sure that we had a good story, one that would live up to the reputation of the Okami series, and I think we did a good job with that. Then next is the sound, graphics and sound. And of course with the DS, you are limited compared to what you can do with a bigger system. And for the team, it was a matter of trying to make sure they kept everything as intact as possible. So it wasn't like we would just cut everything. It was like with the graphics, you would look at, well, the DS can't handle as many polygons, for instance. So it was a matter of deleting them one at a time so we could keep as much as possible instead of just cutting everything from the beginning.
And one of the new additions is the partnership, and you can guide one of the characters. What was the decision behind that?
Well, when making Okamiden, we wanted to somehow distinguish it from the predecessor Okami, because we're making a new game and a new franchise, if you will. We wanted to try and take that in a new direction in some way. And so what the idea for this was, because we have Chibi-Terasu, which is the child of Amaterasu from the previous game, you have this child god in the game, and the child, being a child, can't do things on his own. So you're going to have to bring in some help for him, and that's where the partner system came from. And the partners will work with Chibi-Terasu to overcome different puzzles and problems in the game, and they work together. It's a really interesting system, and I think it helps distinguish it from the previous game. So now, in my mind, you have the Okami game, which is its own franchise, and then Okamiden, which is another franchise under the same Okami umbrella.
So where do you see the series going now?
Actually, I do get this question a lot. I guess a lot of fans are concerned about the Okami series. The Okami world itself is a world that I want to continue to explore. I think there's a lot of potential in there for new ideas, new series, new IPs, if you will, in this series. So for me, there's a lot of potential there that's still untapped. For right now, I want to make sure we get this game into the hands of fans, and that I hope the fans react positively to what we're trying to do. And we're going to listen to what they say. Hopefully this game gets into a lot of people's hands, so a lot of different people who didn't know the previous game get to experience this one. And once we hear back from them, and hopefully everything goes well, then we can start thinking about where we want to take the series. If fans have some ideas where they want us to take the series, we'll be open to listening to that. For right now, I hope they can support Okamiden, and let's just see where it goes from there.
So when is the game coming out, and on what platform?
The game will be out in 2011, and of course it'll be out on the Nintendo DS. In the near future, we hope to be letting you know exactly when it'll be out, but just keep your eyes and ears open for the exact date. Right now, 2011, next year, Nintendo DS, and thank you for your time.